What's up, friends? This is Jazz, finally bringing you another Pokemon Crimson Fury review. I have to apologize. Again, I'm doing these reviews when I'm in the best mood I can be. With minus today, I have a bit of a cold, so if you hear my nose, and I'm trying not to cough during this, but in the best emotional state, So today I'm doing chapter 11, and it is Tori, the Aroma Queen. Now, we start this chapter with Tori back in her stadium, trying to decide, how to go about Matt and Ryan's battle. She figures she doesn't want to go easy on them because they're family, right? She wants to go a little bit more challenging. But she calls Mike just to get a second opinion and asks how hard he should go. And even Mike concurs that, let them earn it. Don't raise them into spoiled, snobs, right? And then she understands what he means is no mercy. So she wants him to go the hardest, her best at them, even though they're greenhorn trainers normally. To go their hardest, show no mercy like she would for other Newton trainers, right? She wants the badge to be earned, genuinely. So that is agreed upon, and when they all get to the stadium, Matt and Ryan decide who's going first, and by playing Rochambeau or rock, paper, scissors, and Matt is chosen to go first, and the secretary is trying to get Matt to take a gift from her, saying, you want a gift, right? He's like, nah, give it to me when I win, right? Which, something tells me this is going to be a mistake on his part. But he goes in, and then they're talking more about it, about what to do. When it's Ryan's turn, she said, Addie's you shouldn't take Sandshrew because he's weak against grass, so that is already agreed upon. And he was going to use Marhoot. Then Addie says, yes, that's good, but you're going to have to use more than just Marhoot against the strong trainers. And it's about time Edie steps up a little bit. And Ryan, at first, maybe for 5 seconds, is do you think? And then he's like, what do you think, buddy? And then Edie somehow agrees, right? After everything, all the fears he's had, he says, after listening for a minute and being confused, he agrees. And then the secretary said, it's good that you're strong, but you need, more than that, right? And he said, was that what your gift was about, that you were trying to offer, or where? I don't know what it was. They were just having a conversation. She said that Matt is brave, right? He goes right through, that's a secretary saying, but he seems to be very, what's the best word, rash, right? He has bravado, but that isn't always good, right? Now, I should back up that I did forget to mention that none of Addie and Ryan could not go in there because the garden has expanded, which I forgot to say that is part of the obstacle. When she heard no mercy from Mike about the boys, she pushed a button, a bunch of flowers popped up that released spores. We'll say the gift that was offered to Matt and Ryan will accept is very important. We find this out when Matt suddenly opens the door totally white, disheveled, almost emotionless. He was trashed by her, right? Inconsolable. They try to talk, but Matt just goes out, right? Saying that it's impossible. She's too strong for us, and leaves. Addie goes after Matt to try to console him, and then the secretary asks Ryan, so I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked your brother. Would you like to accept the gift? And she's like, sure. And it's goggles, safety goggles. I don't know if some of you are smart enough, you're kind of seeing where this is going, in a way. he takes them, and then she said it's going to be important later, right? He still takes them, goes in. After a few minutes, he notices it isn't feeling right. Right? He's just feeling out of it. He also notices Evie seems to be like this too, like feverish even. So he finally makes it to Tori, and then she finally tells him that she's released spores in the air that will not kill. Like she said die. She's a morbid person, but she means faint, right? That they'll be okay. But it affects Pokemon more. And then Ryan's like, is this what this gift was about? You know, she's like it'll affect the Pokemon more unless they're grass Pokemon, like Pokemon that aren't affected by spores or other powders. So that just goes to show you, like, Matt has rushed there. He got there quicker than Ryan, but he did not notice anything. And by the time he got there, his Pokemon were already drained by the spore. Right? So he wasn't thinking, he didn't accept the gift, and you'll see where the gift comes in later. Like he says, she thinks he's already doomed, seeing how bad Evie is, Tori is. He said, I have an ace up my sleeve. He sends out Maru. He said, well, yes, it may be stronger than my Pokemon, but he said, not quite yet. He froze the safety goggles on Maruhoot, which reflects all the spores and makes him unaffected. You see where this is going now? If Matt had just taken those goggles, he may have had a fighting chance. Or at least a better chance than he had. Because the spore drained his team, and then Tori finished him off with her Pokemon. Which, she also sent out Vileplume, by the way, which is her ace in the bag. So not only did she put all these traps up, but send out her strongest Pokemon against them. I don't know, I think she did that with Matt too. Matt's battle was never shown, except he said he was trashed. So, I'd assume maybe it was Vileplume if that's her ace, right? So, and probably he didn't, if he was trashed the way he said he was, he probably didn't need to do much effort on Vileplume's part, so he still probably had energy. So, what they say, things go better for Ryan, especially at first, right? He's a little confused because she sends sludge bombs at him, and he avoids it. And then he tries it again, and then he does, like, dust and sand attack. And I know I'm not good at remembering every single detail, right? But she also does use Ingrain to try to help her with that as well. So, like I said, he used sand attack to reflect the sludge bombs, and she does get some damage off them with gusts and quick attacks, and things are going well, but things, what they say, I know I'm quickening this up, right, but it's hard to explain it fully. What they say, for a little while, it kind of goes in Ryan's favor, and Tori has her good moments too, where she takes Ryan off track with Maruhoot, and things are going well, but Tori is in the corner, back of corner. She's never been back into a corner, using her best Pokemon, against, like, it was a while, she said. It was a while since she was back in the corner like this, going at her full, right? So she goes to use her best attack, which she also sends out Sunlight to do a solar beam, and unfortunately that is enough for Maruhoot, who faints. So things seem bad. I mean, under Tori's impression, Ryan has lost, because, well, Evie has no energy, just probably at this point, but then suddenly, to both her and Ryan's surprise, Evie hops there and looks at him in the eye, determined. He's like, but are you sure? He looked in his eye and he said, I got it. She's like, he has no energy, and then suddenly one tackle knocks Vileplume out, which was the only Pokemon Tori used in that battle. So Ryan, because of Evie's determination, won. Because if Evie was strained like he was supposed to be, and no energy whatsoever, he would have lost. Because Maruhoot was his only real fighting chance. But Evie fought not only his anxiety, his physically he shouldn't have been able to do that, right? Like, because of everything he was put through by the spores. But he fought not only his anxiety, but his health in general, and won it for them. Which again is the start of the rise of Evie. So going from a little scaredy cat, what he was called, to a real viable member of Ryan's team. This is where it all starts, my opinion. He wins the Aroma badge and Giga Drain, and it praises Ryan for his, using his brains, and she understands why Michael chose to walk him, take him, start him in this journey, in a way. And that she was proud of him, and to tell Matt that she's ready if he wants to challenge again. And now this is going to be a hard part. This is another reason that this chapter specifically was the hardest for me to do originally. We go out, he looks, and he finds Matt, and Matthew is just staring at the tree, not saying anything at all still. She said, I couldn't get anything from him. And then Ryan keeps trying to just talk sense into him. She says, no. She said, if we work as a team, he's like, no. He said, I can't do this on my own. I need to make my family proud. And Ryan's like, is this because of what our father said? And things go on. Matthew is still arguing. He's not having it still. And then finally he's like to Ryan, did you win? And he was hesitant. He's like, answer me. Did you win? He's like, yeah. And then he said, guess I have to do things on my own. And they try to convince him not to go, that they're a team. He said, no, the teamwork seems to be working for you, but not for me. And there's things I don't want to spoil for you guys. So, I mean, most of you have probably read it anyway, but this is just a start of something for Matthew, right? I always knew all this was coming. So, this is the first instance, again, of him going on his own, right? And that things are completely different from this point in the story, in that dynamic. So, there isn't very much at this point after that. That is pretty much the ending of that chapter. I know this was relatively short of me narrating it, but there wasn't a whole lot of other plots either, except for maybe that Matthew had to talk to his lawyer when he was talking to Tori, like letters, which again he'll come into the play later as well, eventually. Or no, I think, yeah, later, but he has to talk to his lawyer. But that doesn't really get shown in this chapter. He's just said that to Tori. So, most of the plot was on the gym battle, which it was a lot more fun that way. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed finally seeing a Pokemon Crimson Fury chapter after a long time, give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe to help this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.